Hey, welcome to another installment of Catching Up. I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jake.
And this week we have an interview with T. Franklin. She's the creator and writer of Bingo Love by Image Comics, her and Jen St. Onge. That's out in comic book stores everywhere and on Comixology on Valentine's Day. Quite convenient, as if it was intended.
Whoa.
But yeah, let's let her, me and her kind of had a one-on-one sit down and, talked about the book, talked about, if there was ever a time that we needed a book like Bingo Love, it's right now. And I think this conversation kind of really gets into that, and it's just such a great, timeless, it's one of the most important books I think we've ever covered in the history of the show. And here, let's let her talk about it. And joining us this week, we have T. Franklin. Her book Bingo Love comes out in comic book stores everywhere and on Comixology on Wednesday, February 14th. That's Valentine's Day, and it comes out in book stores and available, to get on Amazon. Though you can pre-order it on Tuesday, February 20th. T, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So this book, two African-American women fall in love in New Jersey in 1963. And, of course, given the barriers of the time, they're forced to, separate for over 50 years. And then, destiny and love finds a way, and they find each other, decades and decades later. This book at once is both heartwarming and heartbreaking. And how was it as a writer? How was it kind of navigating that very kind of that tightrope of emotion?
Listen, there was a time when the actual busting happened by Margie's grandmother that period that I hated myself and right for well over a month. I was so mad at myself. I was going through so many different emotions, and I just wanted to change the story. I didn't want them to be busted. I was going to, mix that whole scene. I just wanted them to be together forever in love, happily ever after, because I was so mad, and I knew it was coming. I broke them up, and I knew everybody was going to hate my guts. I was like, no, not my first book. Everybody's going to hate me. Let me just change everything. So it was really hard to figure out how to take something that was so beautiful and just so pure and innocent and just muck it up with people's, prejudgment and their homophobia. And it was really hard to write those scenes and to make that happen, where they were literally forced to marry men or be disabled. Not disabled, or be disowned. So that was really rough. I'm still mad at myself, but they got together, so yay!
All the creators we talk to, they love their own characters more than anybody else, and yet they put them through just the ringer. They put them through, you can go ahead and curse on this podcast. They just put them through the shit. They really kind of make them hurt. So as a creator, it was just as heartbreaking to split these guys up and put them in really in a very uncomfortable position when they do reunite as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's real life. There are senior citizens who don't come out till they're 70, 80 years old. We see that in the news, and it takes a lot of strength to have to, suppress those feelings and who you are for so many decades. And, there's, people will be just so rude and harsh and, well, why didn't you keep it in? You're so old as it is anyway, you might as well just have kept it in until you die. And it's like, why? Just so it could make you happy? I don't think so. So I've always said that that's Maury and Hazel's superpower, is the strength to come out to their family and to just say, screw it. This is what it is, and I want to be happy. and I want to live my life. So, you know, it sucks. It happens, and you know, I just hope everybody's not too bad when they see this story.
Well, I think something that I should really stress, especially, to our listeners and anyone who hasn't checked out the book yet, despite the hardship that Hazel and Mary kind of go through and all the trials and tribulations, I don't think this is a sad, tragic story at all, because no matter what, they find each other. I mean, again, their circumstances suck for quite some time, but at the end of the day, truth wins and love wins. And was it, I'm sure, the flip side to the putting them through the ringer question was having them finally reunite and fall in love and build a life for each other. That had to have been the most rewarding stuff to write.
It was. I was married for about 10 plus years, and I've only recently came out of the closet to my children. I have 3 amazing kids. My son will be 24 on the 21st of January, and I have a 17 and 15-year-old. And I came out to them about maybe 2-ish years ago, and it was, I don't know, my kids were really, all right, that's cool. We are doing, and I'm like, what the hell? I thought that I, prided myself to keeping things on the down low as can be, but apparently I just gave off my gay vibes, and my kids already knew. I'm like, wow, damn, okay, thanks for accepting me, but not everybody has that. And, my marriage was not the best at all, but I survived, my kids survived, and I was able to be me, to, be queer and be happy and not have to hide anymore. So it was really, I had some pretty kick-ass kids. So being able to, which is totally different from what Hazel goes through, without spoiling anything, it was just especially with one of their children, it was just what are you doing? You're ruining the family. How could you? And it happens in people's lives, with their family, because again, there's so many secrets in families, and they want to keep the secret to themselves, and they don't want to ruin their little happy, quote unquote, happy family, which really isn't all that happy. You're hiding and harboring a whole bunch of secrets. So, not everybody has the opportunity to actually come out and to be true to themselves. So writing Mari and Hazel's story, at least from Hazel's point of view, because this story is from Hazel's point of view on how, her relationship with Mari, in her eyes, how it happened. Because we all know there's three sides to the story. One person's side, the other person's side, and the actual truth. But, this is how Hazel remembers her story, her love story, her version. Hopefully, as time goes on and the sales go and pick up, Bingo pre-order it today, bingo.comic.net. Hopefully the sales are great, and then a second volume to Bingo Love, which would be from Mari's point of view. And we get to see things differently on what happened in Mari's life and her relationship with her husband, which, as we saw, it wasn't, the best from the little tidbits that were sprinkled into the story. So I'm just really thankful and grateful for not just Image Comics to pick up the book, but for 1,950 backers who backed the Kickstarter project and pledged over $57,000. Because without them, Image would have never found out about the book, and it wouldn't be coming in stores on Valentine's Day. So thank you to everyone who supported the book.
Well, and I think, the fact that it is connected with so many backers and so many people, I mean, congrats, the book is, top 10 on the Amazon pre-order, or on the graphic novel list and everything, which has got to be so. There's got to be a validation there, and I think it's because this book, it's the book we need so desperately right now, and two, it's coming from a place of honesty. Like Hazel, you're from Jersey. Obviously you've had your own experiences coming out to your own family and that sort of thing. And I was wondering, I'm sure it was intimidating as hell putting this to, writing the story down, but was there, hopefully a catharsis when you finally got it all out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It felt, not that it was my story per se, as far, I'm not a grandmother. I'm not trying to be so kids, especially my son. Wrap it up. I'm not trying to be a grandmother anytime soon, but, the fact that this could be my story if I held on to this secret for so long, that it might not have gone this way. It could have totally went another route if my kids were different. So I am truly hopeful that the queer grandmothers that are out there, that they can see themselves in this story and know that I understand from a standpoint of somebody who has had to hide themselves, maybe not for as many decades as, Mari and Hazel or queer grandmas that are out there, but, just hiding it, these feelings. Because I came out to the rest of my family literally when I was doing interviews for my Kickstarter. It was I'm queer. I guess my family knows now. That was literally how I came out to the rest of my family when they saw my interviews. And they're like, wait, you gay? And I'm like, yeah, I am.
So you found your own.
You gonna tell my mom on me? Like,
yeah.
Dude, I'm freaking old. Like, what are you gonna hold over me? So, that was my way of, coming out. I didn't care I really didn't care how they felt about it. Only ones that I cared about was who that, I gave birth to, because those are the only ones that matter.
Sure. In
my life, to that. My cousins, the aunts, the uncles, whatever. I don't have to see you every day. The only ones I see every day are my kids. So as long as they gave their approval, that was really it. But again, like I said before, not everybody has that.
Yeah, so in a way, you found your own self-empowerment through your own story, and if there's obviously the love is the big theme, but also just being. I feel like if there's another theme, it's just being honest to yourself in all things, certainly including love. Yes,
absolutely. And the other, overall theme would be, the queer youth that are out there, and to those amazing queer little young babies, happily ever after aren't just your straight people. And that was one thing I really wanted to show with this book, because there are not many examples out there of people making it to Magneto and age, especially not in comics. So I wanted to show that it's a possibility and it can happen. It may not happen right away when you want it, but it's a possibility that it can happen a few decades down the line. So that was another theme that I really wanted to tell with this story, that it can happen and happily ever afters do exist.
Yeah, in my 30 years on this earth, 30 soon to be 32, the one constant I've kind of learned is life rarely happens at a time of our choosing. And I wish I could take credit for that quote, but honest to God, it's from Transformers 2.
But it's the truth, though. It's the truth.
Yeah. Optimus Prime, wise beyond his years.
I'm done.
I do have to ask, one of the things that I found, certainly just kind of as an intriguing storytelling choice, why bingo?
I love bingo. Bingo is always a thing that I love. I still play to this day when I can get out. I like to play bingo. I don't know, there's just something about it that's just, I don't know, it's exciting. You got the potential to win a whole bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been times that I've been down to my last few $5 and I need to flip that $5. And I won playing bingo. And it's like, all right, a couple $100, let's feed the kids. I could pay a bill or something, and I love bingo. So, and, being taken when I was younger to play bingo or to watch the adults play bingo was something that happened in my family. So I just wanted to incorporate that. That's not a sport, but that game into, because my family definitely, we play games from when my grandmother was around, from Yahtzee and Uno and Phase 10 and Scrabble. We always had game night. So this was just my grandmother coming in and putting her own little sprinkles of grandmotherness, I guess, into my book.
Well, there is.
So,
yeah. I mean, it's from a grandmotherly perspective, and I think there certainly is like an intergenerational community aspect to bingo. And I don't know why bingo of all games, but maybe it's just easy to follow. And yeah, like you're saying, there is that excitement every time they start to spin that thing full of ping pong balls. But yeah, I was just kind of like, yeah, bingo, interesting choice. But yeah, I kind of think about it, and it's like, would anything else have really worked? And it's like, no.
I mean, it could have, there's, I could have done canasta, or, pinochle, there's,
pinochle.
these people, they have these game nights, and you've got a whole bunch of people that'll sit around and play. So, not a lot of games. One of the reasons that I think bingo was something that has been around for quite a while, and it also has that church aspect to it, which shows why their grandparents were so against it, because, they were raised up in the church, even though one of the grandparents has their own little transgressions in the church that, they were trying to keep secret for a while. But, bingo, church bingo happens, bingo at the Y, bingo at a rec center. So, yeah, I love bingo.
Now, earlier you had mentioned, Hazel's superpower in terms of coming out to her family and just kind of like, digging her heels in the ground, just being like, this is who I am, this is who I love, either get behind me or kind of move on. What would you say is Mari's superpower?
Well, I can't tell you that till I get the second book. I can't spill all that out there, yeah, I definitely can't tell that. There's, and I can't even say that I touched on it a little bit in the book because I didn't. But, well, I mean, I can't tell that. Well, she is a lawyer, so I will just leave that there.
I had to try, T. I had to try.
Sorry. I'm like, what can I give you? I can't give you much. I can just say she is a lawyer, and that's really all I can do. My bad.
It's quite all right. I don't know if you, as a complete aside, I don't know if you remember, but a couple months ago, it feels like ages ago, but it was only like 3 months ago, over at New York Comic-Con, I was hanging out at the Image booth, and I think I happened to be like right next to you during one of your signings when I'm pretty sure it was Run DMC took the stage at the Marvel booth. And I was like, what is my life right now? And I just remember you were right there and you're like, oh my God, it's Run DMC. Like he had the bucket hat and everything. And it was That, I just, as a random aside, our paths have crossed at one random time that involved, like, the kings of hip-hop.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I remember my daughter was like, what? What's going on? I'm like, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was so random, though. I wonder what was behind having, what the heck? What? Oh, good.
Daryl McDaniels?
Yes, DMC. What the heck was having him? Like, I wonder what that was about.
Well, Marvel was doing another round of hip-hop covers.
Of course they are.
Of course. And, well, The Weeknd was there, too. And he actually talked to Donnie Cates randomly. And it was the weirdest, probably the weirdest New York show I think I've ever done. Just seeing, like, these, like, two rappers that have, like, no connection to Image, kind of, like, or really just Marvel in general or whatever, just kind of, like, show up. And I was like, what the hell is my life right now?
Yeah, that was funny. After seeing Donnie's picture of The Weeknd, I'm like, what? What is...
Apparently he's a fan.
The math is not right on this. What is going on?
Yeah,
that was really weird. But it was cool seeing him take the stage and do his little ditty, you know? It was rhyme and all, and that was pretty cool. A little impromptu hip-hop concert at Marvel. Yeah.
Even if it was just tricky, I'll take it. But
yes, exactly. It was still something, you know. Haven't seen him perform in God knows how long.
Back when he was running with Reverend Run and everything, yeah. Or maybe with Aerosmith. But, you know, you had mentioned the Kickstarter, again, hugely successful and everything. How did the Image partnership kind of come about after getting the Kickstarter to successfully, you know, go through and all that?
Fucking Donnie Cates.
It was Donnie Cates?
Donnie Cates. Donnie Cates made that happen. I was signing at Escape Pod Comics located in Huntington, New York for a free comic book day. And Donnie Cates was there along with Spike Platinum. And we were talking about Kickstarter and Bingo Love. And Donnie was really cool with that. I actually just got off the phone with Donnie maybe about 30 or 40 minutes ago tonight.
Damn.
And, Donnie is really cool piece. He's one of my friends. So Donnie wanted to know what was happening with Bingo Love. Where was it going to go? And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I literally have no idea. So he's like, yeah, well, you know what? I know Eric. I'm going to tell Eric about your book. I was like, all right, whatever. I don't know how Eric is, but Eric's cool. He's like, yeah, he's got Image. He's big. All right, fine. Go ahead. Make it happen. You know, I'm like, I don't have any connections with Image. He's like, yeah, well, you do now. You know, Donnie's just so cool with it. So I get this email introduction from Donnie, and it's freaking Eric Stevenson. And I'm like, oh, shit, that Eric? Oh, my God. So I'm like, greetings, Mr. Stevenson. I don't know how to talk to this guy, but I'm going to try my best to be all nice and sweet to see if he would be interested in picking up Bingo Love. And Eric was so nice. He was like, look, we'd love to have you at Image. We think this is a good book. I've heard so much about it. Donnie can't stop raving. And that's literally how it came to pass, was because of Donnie, too.
Oh, he's good. I mean, you know, I hung out with him in bed in New York, too. He really is good, you know, good people.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So that's, speaking of Donnie Cates and The Weeknd, that's how it all happened.
Literally, on the weekend.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Donnie made that happen. Donnie came through and made that introduction, and Eric Stevenson he wanted the book, and, you know, we had to work out some things here and there, but, yeah, I'm still shocked that I have an Image book. The first Black woman writer with an image book. What the hell? I don't know, but I'm grateful.
Well, like I said, there's a lot of heat and a lot of buzz behind this book. I write for Image Plus, and
Okay.
yeah, there was a lot of when the book was first announced, it was a pretty big deal.
It was. It was. It was really. I had that. I was sitting on that, God, forever about the Image deal. And I couldn't say shit to anybody. And I just was like, oh, yo, no. Oh, I want to tell you, but I couldn't say anything. And they wanted to hold, because the book wasn't coming out until February, and they wanted to hold it back some. And I'm like, I need to have a New York Comic Con announcement. Can we announce, please? Like, I was begging them, please. Like, give me this. And yeah, that was just really, it was the best announcement ever. And it was so cool seeing everyone's reactions online, that it was picked up. And me being on an Image panel was just the coolest. And actually, I was on the panel with freaking Donnie. So Donnie is like all, his fingerprints, his DNA is all on Bingo Love. He was really cool to make this happen, and I'm totally indebted to him.
Oh my God, I had no idea about his connection to all this. I'm friends with him on like Facebook and all that. I gotta give him a little tip of the hat too. But enough about Donnie. He's doing all right over at Marvel right now. But let's
For
switch,
real though.
Yeah, let's switch back to Bingo Love a bit. How did you were working with Jen St. Ange on the book? How did the art team all kind of fall into place? Because this, I mean, top to bottom, it's a gorgeous piece of art. This thing.
It is. I am so thrilled. Literally, I just created a tweet, and I said, "Look, I am looking for a queer woman artist, and send me your link." And that was literally it. Jen and I were going to work on another project together, but it just didn't click. It didn't take off the way her schedule or my schedule. Things just weren't working out. So I had reached out to her and was curious if she wanted to work on Bingo Love. So she was totally in, and it just literally came from a tweet, like literally. So I hired Jen to do the art, and when we were looking for a colorist, I put out a tweet, and Jen told Joy about it. So Joy reached out to me, and she posted her links in the tweet, and I was just, her freaking colors are just the cutest. And she just, between Jen, Joy, Cardinal Ray, who's the letterer, and Erica Schultz, the editor, the team was just like A+. We were in sync. It was like, I don't know, it was a well fine-tuned machine. We were just cranking out the pages and getting everything done. And it was just so freaking beautiful. And every page I got from Jen made me cry. And every page I got from Joy just made the snot and the crying worse. Like, it was just so freaking beautiful. And then you throw Cardinal's letters, and it was just like, I don't know, it was like, oh my God, it's so sweet, diabetes. Like, it was just that. It was really cute. And I'm just glad that it all worked out, and everyone they just opened their arms to receive this cute freaking book from all of us. So I'm thankful to them for even embarking on this journey with me to work on this book.
Was there, I mean, it really is kind of like lightning in a bottle and everything. Was that kind of, first time really working with Jen, or at least with the other project not really taking off? Was it just kind of something, as you were mentioning, as the pages were coming in, kind of just being like blown away? By the end of it, are you one of those writers that has to go full script, or do you go a little looser, when you start to hit a groove with your artists?
I don't, this is my This is my first full-length book. So for me, I just had to write everything because this was something new for me. I've had, my first story was in Nail Biter number 27 for, let's see, the art was by Juan Ferreira. Taylor Esposito did the letters, and Gail Simone was my editor. That was my first freaking book. Oh, wow. My first freaking story. So it was an A+ team. And it was really intimidating to have Gail freaking Simone edit my book, my little 4-page story. Mm-hmm. And Juan Ferreira, the artist on Green Arrow and Colder, draw my shit? Yeah. What? So it was really, that team was like super intimidating. It was like, I don't deserve this. So for me to go there with them, and I was so, I hope you like this, do what you want, I don't care. Like, I wasn't going to say, yeah, this is no, do what the hell you want, I don't care. Matter of fact, if you don't even like to make a whole story, I'll just put my name on it. Like, it was just, yeah, I wasn't going to say, I don't, what? No. So with this one, and it was longer, I have previously only written 16 pages. That was it. Right. That's all that's been published of me before I did Bingo Love. So I wanted to do the full script. I wanted to, see if I can actually make a book happen. I know I can make pages happen. I've got several pages and several other books. But this was a book. Can I carry a full book? I don't know, but I'm going to try.
Well,
I did.
You jumped from 16 pages to 96, just so.
Yeah. No big deal. No big deal at all.
Yeah, get the dirt off your shoulders on that one, maybe.
Yeah, just a tad. So, it was pretty awesome, and Jen was really kind and sweet. She made her little changes that she felt would make, the pages flow better. And the team was just, I could not have asked for a better team, seriously.
Oh my God. Well, like I said, top to bottom, this thing is gorgeous. And I think the sheer amount of, no pun intended, the sheer amount of love that this thing is catching both online and social media and just the buzz around the industry and everything. People really believe in this thing because, again, more than ever, this is a book that we need.
Yeah, thank you so much. By far, Bingo Love is not perfect, but it is a book that, I tried to make it all ages, just because I wanted to, again, for the queer babies, the queer youth, I wanted them to know that this book does exist and it can happen for them. Would I have liked to, be able to have longer than the 88 pages that it was? Absolutely. Because I could have fit more into the story. But realistically, I only had a set amount of money to pay everybody. And, of course, at this time, I didn't know we were going to fund in 5 days. I didn't know it was eventually going to be picked up by Image. Had I have known that, yeah, I probably would have had 100-something pages. But, unfortunately, it didn't happen like that. So, while I wish there were more pages in the story, I am happy with how it all turned out and how, I've had young girls cry and tell me how bad they want to take this book home, but they can't because if their parents found it, they'd disown them. And this is still happening. Yeah. It's 2018, It's still happening. Little kids are being disowned. Just sometime late last year, a man killed his son who came out. Like, this happens.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to them at all. So I wanted to give them hope.
Yeah.
And this book has a lot of heart and a lot of hope. And, you know, I wanted to be able to touch everyone with this story. I love romance. Is just so sweet and so cute, and it can be so cheesy at times, especially the happily ever after story, you know. And I just wanted, if there was an 11-year-old or a 12-year-old girl or boy or a non-binary child who wanted to read this book, as long as they can see that there's hope for their future, I'm so good. I really am.
Again, you're selling yourself short by saying the book isn't perfect. You don't pull your punches, and it shows that even though love has a cost, it's always worth it.
Absolutely. That, you know, in that one therapy scene with Hazel and her therapist, you know, she was saying that there are so many different love equations. Just make sure that this person is deserving of your love. And I wanted to reinforce that to especially the little ones. You know, love can be so deep and love can be trash at the same damn time, you know. But just make sure that that person who you love is deserving of your love. Just don't just give all the love you have in your heart to someone who doesn't deserve it. So I hope they get that, and I hope that they, you know, understand that love is love, and, you know, love is pretty awesome, and, you know, they can have their happily ever after just as much as some straight couple.
Let me dangle this idea, and you can run with it, or you can leave it in the dust. When you do a second volume of Bingo Love, because you're totally going to do a second volume of Bingo Love following Mark. Let's be honest. That's a story you can't sleep on. If you ever collect both volumes in like a deluxe hardcover, the extra pages could be like the T. Franklin director's cut version.
Oh, I like where you're going with that. That could be cool. That could be really freaking cool. That could be cool.
I have my moments. So
that would be freaking awesome. I can't promise a second volume. If the sales are trash, I don't know if Image is going to give it to me. You know, so if y'all want a second volume, you know, you gotta pay. You gotta, you know. You know, these companies are all about their dollars. So
I do, especially, you know, these days. But if enough people don't hear about this book, T, I am just not doing my job, and I'm here to do my job. So, you know, something, you know, to completely change gears, something we ask everybody that comes on the show. What are you currently geeking out over?
Oh boy, I don't want to. See, I don't.
It doesn't have to be comics. We've had people geek out over arts and crafts.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna go. Look, I'm really hyped for Black Panther. I really am. I really, really am. Especially when we got the news, you know, where it just came out today, how the pre-sales are better than Captain America Civil War? I think they started Civil War. And that's like, what? Duh, it's a given, you know. But I'm not a fan of Marvel like that, so we're just going to shove that to the side. What I think I'm geeking out over, and I just found this series on Netflix, and I need more. I know it was wrapped in a really good bow. I know it, but I sort of kind of want more. But The End of the Fucking World? Holy shit! That show is pretty damn awesome. Oh my gosh.
How would you continue it though after that end?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't die. Maybe he shot. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm spoiling stuff, but maybe because he was running with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it wasn't that gun. I know he's not going to tell me. I'm like, dude, this kid is Dexter. Like, this is a young Dexter. When is this what Dexter was going to? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it can continue with him out of his predicament and he's older. I don't know. But it was so good. It was so, I want to watch it again to see what clues I missed. Because I'm like, nah, I can't end like this. Like, no, this isn't cool.
Just can't.
I need more.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Are you a fan of? Are you a fan of kind of the crime stuff and the
I love horror. Horror is like, I do the romance thing, that's fine. But I love to write horror. I love to read horror. When I got back in, I was always a comics fan, but marriage, kids, all that shit, sort of, kind of,
sure,
yeah, priorities, right?
Of course.
So when I got back into comics, the first book I read was Nailbiter.
Mm-hmm.
So when Joshua Williamson asked me to do a 4-pager, it was just like, what is happening? What is my life? Is this real? So it's all that kind of full circle for me, to be able to tell a story in that world. And I hope it comes back because I will want to write more. I want to play in that Buckaroo toy box.
I'll tell you something when we're off the record about all that.
I can't wait to hear this one. But I would love to play with that story again. Just, I would love to play in the American Vampire toy box. I love horror. My first book that I remember reading probably was no older than like 10 or 11. Was It, the hardcover copy.
Mm.
And it was just best thing ever. And he can open my freaking mind to so much demented shit that I probably shouldn't have in my mind at 10, 11 years old. But, was I so glad it was there, and it was, all I had to do was go to the library and check it out.
Yeah.
So horror is my jam. It's like my favorite song. I love it. Yeah, horror is my thing.
Is it your favorite of all the Stephen King novels?
No. No. I would have to say, I don't know. Thinner is up there, but Thinner wasn't him. It was what's his name? His was it Richard Bachman? I think, right?
Yeah.
I think that was his alternate ego or whatever. But I wasn't a fan of Pet Sematary. The Shining was good. Maximum Overdrive.
Yes.
It's just like all this stuff is what I was reading, and just it was everything. Like, I want to do some more horror so bad. I'm hoping, some stuff that I have out there pitching to a few places, I hope they will allow me to write some horror stuff because that's my jam. I skinned somebody alive in my first story. Let me write horror.
I mean, you've clearly got the chops.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Let me do it.
Yeah, if you can get, like, Josh Williamson, perhaps one of the greatest horror writers, at Image, to let you play in Buckaroo, you clearly are doing it right.
Yeah. Okay, but see, this is the thing. I didn't actually get to play in Buckaroo. I didn't. because it was supposed to happen, but some things just didn't work out in regards to timing and other creators. So my story isn't, I mean, she could be in Buckaroo, maybe, I don't know, but for this story, she's not. So I still need to, even though my story was in the Nail Biter book, I still want a chance to play with that plot so bad. Oh God, I just want to kill people. No, wait, I just want to write stories. Yeah, I don't want people knocking on my door and shit. Talking about, you said you were going to kill them. No, thank you. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't think we have any listeners that work for the FBI. I think you're good, but so every time the horror thing comes up, I'm like contractually obligated to ask. But who is your favorite slasher?
Okay, so get this. I'm not a fan.
Of slashers?
No, I mean...
Honestly, here's the thing. Honestly, neither am I, because I don't like jump scares and I don't like gore. So that's like their bread and butter.
I mean, I love the gore. I mean, again, I skinned somebody alive. I mean, I'm here for that. The slashers is just like, Freddy is not a slasher. I don't consider him a slasher. He's more, a mind fuck, literally. Like, yeah. But I'm not, like, I don't even know who's who when it comes to Michael and Jason. I swear they're the same person. I don't know who's who. But one wears a hockey mask and one wears a regular mask. I don't know. It's the same person to me. I really don't know.
Okay.
But, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, oh my God, I love that stuff. But for the horror genre, Japanese horror is my shit.
Oh my God, like Audition and stuff?
What? What? Oh my God! Listen, we could do an hour talking about this stuff. Like oh my God, Takashi Miike. Oh my God.
Yeah. Junji Ito, if you prefer the manga.
Oh, dude.
It's a deep rabbit hole. All the Japanese horror. I'm half Korean, which is, I'm aware, not part of Japan, but like there's a lot of messed up Japanese horror.
Seriously, I love it. Oh my God, I love it.
I think there's something about the culture, like in American horror, there's always that glimmer of hope that like, oh, maybe we can get out of this. That doesn't really exist in J horror.
No, not at all. Not at all. And when you look at The Grudge and you look at,
The Ring.
Yet it's so watered down when it reaches America.
Mm-hmm.
So, bleh. I mean, you can't tell me that Battle Royale is not the Hunger Games. Like, there's no way you can tell me that is not that. Because it is. Like, for real. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I remember seeing, like, the trailers and stuff for it. I'm like, well, I've already seen, like, 2 movies of this from Japan.
Seriously. And that was some wild shit.
Yeah,
Good Lord. That is what I love that. That is my type of horror. If I can get on that wavelength, oh my goodness, there'd be no stopping me, man. Listen, I would be cranking out stories on a whole nother level. Oh my goodness, yeah, I love it. That is my thing. Yeah.
Is that what Mari's doing during bingo during that 50-year
gap? Nah, she's not. But I feel that dude, like a serial killer she's married to. I have no idea. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that could be my next story.
Crazy stuff goes on in the South. I mean, that's where she moves to. So
I know. It's a little something hinky going on. Anything is possible, but I don't think that. happens.
That would be such.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think, like, from the creator of Bingo Love, like whatever, like J horror story. That would be such a paradigm shift right there.
For real.
But that would catch them, and they would have no idea what the fuck just hit them.
I know. That would be really cool. I mean, you've got like Love is Love, Bingo Love, my two stories, and then you've got, the outfit, which is the horror story.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, wait, so you write romance too? I'm like, yeah. But you do horror. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't know I had to be pigeonholed into one type of story that I can write.
Well, I think
I have other shit inside me. I wrote about a dragon boy. There's other stories. Inside of me.
There's that old Stephen King story where I think he was at a like a supermarket, and some like old lady like in Bangor, Maine or something like recognized him, and she was like, "Oh, you're Stephen King. You wrote Cujo and Carrie and all that." And he was like, "I don't know why I'm making her sound like a Brooklyn housewife," but anyway. And he was just like, "Yeah, well," and he was like in the supermarket by where they have all the books. And he's like, "I also wrote that, and that." And he pointed to like the Green Mile and like Shawshank Redemption. And she was like, "Oh, don't kid me, Steven," and like walked away. He's like, "But no, seriously, I wrote those things."
Yes, like seriously. I mean, I would love to knock out so many horror books because that's my thing, but just like in my real life, I like This Is Us. I like, The Flash. I like Orange Is the New Black. I have different tastes, and I want to tell as many stories as I can. I'm not a huge Kate fan. I love Vixen.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the Vixen totem tattooed on my chest. My little neckline, as my totem necklace.
Nice.
So, that would I ever write a Kate book? I don't know, but, if DC says, hey, we give you Vixen, you're damn right I'm going to write her. I'm going to write the fuck out of her. But I don't feel like writers should be just pigeonholed into one type of storytelling. Like, that's just corny. I would be so bored to just write romance and nothing else. I'm not knocking anybody that does, but I just know for me and my ADHD, it's just not gonna work. I need to have multiple things going on at the same time. I need to write about other shit. So, will you get a crime drama out of me? Who knows? I would love to be like Shonda. Hey, what? That's Shonda, but
yeah.
I'm like, you will get some romance, you will get some horror, you will get some sci-fi stuff, you might get some urban fantasy, hell, you might get some erotica. I don't know, but I got stories to tell, and I just hope that, I will have plenty of support from people who would like to continue reading stories from me.
Yeah, kind of do the, who's the writer? I think it was Octavia Butler that did like the Xenogenesis stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
But before
trying to tell the stories.
Absolutely. Well, T, before we, release you back to the wilds in New Jersey, do you have anything else you'd like to plug?
I would like to plug Bingo Love, literally, because that's literally all I have right now. So, BingoLoveComic.net. You can pre-order it now. It will be in bookstores on February 20th and in comic shops on Valentine's Day. I hope there will be more books that I can tell you about once I get the okay.
Of course.
But I can't, so I won't. Maybe you'll find out about Mari killing people. No, just saying Mari is not a serial killer. She is a lover, not a fighter. Hopefully there can be other Bingo Love books coming out. Because technically this is a universe. This is my Marvel universe. Bingo Love is my universe. There's so many different characters there And this is just one story from one person's perspective, and there are so many other stories that can come up because there are so many different characters. I mean, you're with her, well, when a grandchild gets born up until this grandchild is in her 30s, you know, so there are so many different stories that I can tell from this universe, and I just hope that there's enough people who will go out there and pick up the book so that I can continue to tell these stories.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I'd love to have you back talking the inevitable T. Franklin J. horror trilogy.
Yes! I'm trying to make this happen.
Yeah. Well, again, Bingo Love out on Wednesday, February 14th in comic book shops everywhere, and on Tuesday, February 20th in book stores. You can pre-order on bingolove.net and on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. T, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I guess I'll be seeing people soon because I'm going on a tour. What?
Woo.
Oh, yeah. Don't ask me when and where because I don't know everything. But I will be places soon.
Right on.
Dates near you.
I'll be around.
Good. That sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all. Oh, that was good. That was a good talk.
Yeah, that was a good hang that you two had.
That's right. You were kind of next to me.
Well, you guys just were on a roll. Like I just sat back and listened as a fan. Like you guys had a great interview. It was really well done.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take that to the bank.
Every once in a while, Jake is just a fan of the show, not
That's right.
not a host.
That's right.
The host with the most.
And I am neither. No, it was good. It was good.
Cool. Again, that's out on Valentine's Day, so definitely check it out. It's a great book. You guys get into anything?
I saw Paddington 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Favorite
This
movie
time,
of
Paddington Harder.
Yeah. Favorite movie of 2018 as of right now.
Oh.
Honestly, I know we're only in January. It's on my top 10. It has to.
It's that delightful.
It's so freaking gosh darn delightful and hilarious.
I've been hearing such good things about it, and I still have no desire to see it because I don't care for the character.
It is. I never.
I had no nostalgia for Paddington.
Me neither.
Okay.
Me neither. I didn't grow up in Paddington.
If I don't see Paddington 1, can I see Paddington 2?
I did.
I didn't see Paddington 1.
Okay.
Still haven't seen it.
Yeah, I will now. My sister was trying to get me to watch for a while, and I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, all right, let's go. We'll see Paddington 2, and it was great. It really was just so wonderful.
Damn.
Yeah, very fun.
I've been doing it wrong for years.
Well, I mean, it just came out.
Yeah.
I've been doing it wrong for days.
Yeah.
That doesn't just because it just came out doesn't mean I haven't been doing it
That's
wrong.
true.
True.
That's
This is
true.
just the
That's true.
realization
That's
that
very
he's been
true.
doing it wrong
Very
for
true.
years.
Yeah, we were just talking about Paddington 2, but everything else in your life, yes, fucking shambles.
Everything. I had a out of town friend, Megan, come visit, and we opted for just a chill hangout. She's a huge fan of Archie comics, and I was like, oh, have you seen the Josie and the Pussycats movie from 2001 starring Rachel Lee Cook, Tara Reid, and Rosario Dawson? And she was like, oh, what? And I was like, wow. We watched it, and it's so absurd that she fucking loved it, and which was really good because I was like, this is definitely easily one of those hit or miss movies. Either it's so bonkers that you love it, or it's bonkers just enough that you're like, fucking kill me now. And thankfully, like I said, she loved it.
She survived.
Yes, she survived. I survived. We're still friends. And then she once that ended, she was like, well, let's watch another movie. And I kind of scanned my DVD selection, and for whatever reason landed on Evolution, starring David Duchovny, Orlando Jones, and Sean William Scott.
And Julianne Moore.
Yes, she's in that as well. Sorry, she's not on the cover, so in the picture of my head, it lost me. But yes. So there, we watched that and did not love it as much because I'll even agree it is not a good movie, but it was a good movie to like chat and catch up over. Since for most of Josie and the Pussycats, we were just enjoying Josie and the Pussycats, didn't get to talk much. So there you go. Evolution, a good hang out and chill, talk over it kind of movie. Hey Sam, did you get into anything this week?
I already forgot to do that. God
Yeah.
damn it. Good job, Chris.
I got you, Jake.
I
didn't want to disappoint the fans who have been waiting.
Fan, singular.
Jake, the fan.
Thank you.
Starring Patton Oswalt.
We're letting Sam off the hook. Sam, please. Sorry. We're being very rude.
Well, I mean, be rude all you like.
I'll remember that.
Yeah. Let's see. What did I do? Since last Wednesday. I'll have better stories next week.
That's fair. That passes. Chris, you okay with that for now?
Eh.
It's not,
Too wishy-washy?
yeah. It's not salacious enough.
Okay.
It's not salacious crumb. But no, it's fine. That's
Ooh.
fine. That's fine, Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
It's fine.
It's been a while since we've snake eyes.
It's been a while since
Yeah.
Snake Eyes.
But yeah,
fine.
so to give a tease.
I started reading.
Oh.
I started reading The Right Stuff
Oh.
by Michael Wolff.
Is that
Or is it Stephen Wolf? Not the same one that wrote Fire and Fury.
is that related to the movie The Right Stuff?
It's the basis for the movie
Okay.
The Right Stuff. Yeah. It's fine though if you like Control F, like Control Find in the text, like stuff or right stuff. Like he says that term, the right stuff. So many. It's like, and this is why Chuck Yeager had the right stuff. And I'm just like, Like by the end of it, you're just kind of like you're just on edge. Like, okay, I get it, man.
You know what's funny? You say that because I have been slowly making my way through the Starship Troopers audiobook. And you want to talk about a phrase they use a lot? Not Starship Troopers.
No.
I don't think it's ever said once. Buy the farm. They refer to dying as buying the farm.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody buys the farm.
They say buy the farm nonstop.
That's like I used to have a friend who would always use the phrase at this juncture, which like that's fine. It sounds well. So at face value, the phrase at this juncture sounds like an intellectual way of saying right now or because whatever it sounds like an intellectual way to say it. But when it's the only way that you say that whatever you're trying to get across of like right now we're doing this, he'd be like, this is what we're doing at this juncture, and like. By like the 10th time you say that, it gets really fucking annoying. And then like over the course of our friendship of like a couple years, like he kept saying it, and I was just like, "Fuck off." I wanted to buy him I wanted to buy him a thesaurus for Christmas.
I'm sorry.
Do they have phrase thesaurus?
It was just the panic in your voice.
It's because I was watching.
You're just like, oh God!
It's because I was watching Josie and the Pussycats, and Parker Posey's character by the end of the movie has such a pronounced lisp because apparently that makes her a villain. In that movie, at least, that like it's stuck in my head, and also thesaurus is. I think we can all agree that that's a difficult word to say. No, that's just me. Okay, that's fine. Y'all can fuck yourselves.
Well, thanks again to T. Franklin for coming on the show. That really was great talk. And again, it's a fantastic book, and it's out everywhere on Valentine's Day. So definitely check that out in bookstores the following Tuesday, which I believe, if my math is the 20th of February. So yeah, check that out. You can pre-order it on bingolove.net. You can get it on pre-order on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Yeah. This has been another installment of Catching Up. I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jake.
One Vision.
Thank you very much.
Good night, Eric.
Bye. This has been another Geek Out production. If you enjoyed what you heard, hey, we've got a special episode every Friday. Of course, there's the usual Catching Up show every Wednesday. And you get book club episodes just about every Tuesday these days. Thanks for listening.